What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Mystic Mac here, and today I'm going to be doing a special video, a video that has been requested of me for a couple of weeks now, ever since we heard the news that U7 would be coming out in October. Some people have been hitting me up lately, bugging me about doing a best teams for U7 video, so I decided I would finally get to that. But just before we get into it, I do need to mention that I do now have my own Discord. If you would like to get updated tactics, strategies, arena strategy, raid strategy, war strategy, all that, or if you just want to hang out, I'll post the link in my description. Hop in, come hang out with us. I do also have Twitch now. I'm streaming nearly every night around 8:30 p.m. EST. I'll post a link to that. If you can hop on and hang out with me, that'd be cool. But yeah, let's get started. So before we start talking in theory crafting, I do want to say that they did mention U7 would be getting a buff. So what I'm doing now is purely speculating, theory crafting. I have no idea how hard it's going to be. This is just my personal opinion. So I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm wrong, but just a heads up that we have not seen the raid yet. So this is purely speculating, purely theory crafting. So let's get started. I'm going to show you two teams, but the first one is pretty known. It's this BKT plus Ultron team. During the first iteration of U7, this team really shined. Most people are having a lot of success with this team over the so-called Apex raid team, Wakandans, over Shield, over any other raid team. This was the team that really stood out from most of the average to mid game to even end game players were using this team. So yeah, let's take a look at any T4s I have on them. Obviously, they've grown a little bit since the last U7, but Minn-Erva, she doesn't really need any T4s. She's still the best healer in the game. She's going to carry you through this raid. 4 or 5 red stars, that helps a lot for her health. Groot, his passive is really good, especially in raids, because it's going to apply slow to whoever attacks him, and he's getting the taunt after Rocket special, so that's really good. I happen to get 5 on him, so that's not bad at all. For Star-Lord, I have his passive, which is going to grant some more energy to adjacent allies, so that's really helpful. 4 red stars, which is pretty decent. Rocket, I don't have any, but most of his upgrades are really useful, especially if you have good red stars on him. He's going to be your second main source of damage, so if you have some extra T4s you want to put into this team for U7, his special would be really useful. And then obviously the best single character in the game, Ultron, he's going to be carrying you through this raid, or he did carry you through the last iteration of U7, so I have his basic, special, and alt maxed. If you want to go ahead and do his passive, that's good too. So let's take them into U6. Obviously, they're way overpowered for U6, but we will take them in there just to kind of get a feel for their play. But yeah, guys, this team is just going to pretty much carry you through the whole. Or it's gonna be the best team. Like I said, I don't know how hard they buffed this upcoming U7, but the last one they carried me towards the end with minimal heals. I think who am I looking for? Group. I think I had to start healing up towards the last mini boss. Obviously, that was the big one, but that was the second big one. But most people had to heal on that unless you had like a 350k team. But this team's got a lot of sustain, a lot of buffs, a lot of damage with Ultron and Rocket. Groot's handing out death proofs to Ultron and Minn-Erva. Minn-Erva's reviving. you know the whole spiel with this team. They're just really, really great in raids. So I'm just going to go through kind of the turn order that I'd be doing if this was a much harder raid. So I'm going to summon. I don't need the heal, so I won't do it. Then obviously we're firing Ultron up the way you normally do. His ult's going to get him some energy back, 4 energy back. So for those of you who have been playing Ultron for a long time, you know he's like a machine. You got to get him going, and then once he gets going, he's hard to stop. So that's what we like. We get Rocket doing the ult, cleaning up, and then Ultron firing down on people. So this team is really great. It's going to be really, really great option for U7. I would definitely be working on them. If you're at level 71, raise them to level 71. I still got to do Rocket. Gear them up to 13 if you haven't already. Put some resource into them, because they're gonna be probably, for most people, their best bet going into U7. Now let's talk about the wild card team that I will be probably running half and half with this team. It's going to be X-Men, but instead of Wolverine, I'm going to put Minn-Erva in here. You have the raid god Storm right here, charging up to 20 charges. That will be very useful in the beginning nodes to save for the end nodes. I could very possibly put T-Force here just for the extra damage on like the last boss or the last mini boss. Obviously you have Phoenix here. I raised them all to 71 except Wolvie because I'm taking him out, but I could put T4s on all the rest of her abilities and it would be fine. But the thing with this team is, obviously, you know, if Dark Phoenix comes out, you have to revive her every node. But the big thing is, I would rather spend 50 charges and one-shot the node than spending 250 charges and not one-shotting a node, if you get what I'm saying. So I've seen in the last iteration of U7, I've seen videos of people one-shotting the final boss with this team. The final boss in the last U7, I've seen people one-shotting it with this team. So this team is the real deal. Now if you want to run BKT with Ultron and then switch to this team on maybe a boss node or the boss nodes, it's a great option, because like I said, you'll probably end up having to I want to switch the placement here. Let's put Phoenix back there, and then because Colossus will be taunting, you want to keep him. Now another great thing about this team is Psylocke is going to be giving evades to every time they fall below 50%, so that's very helpful in raids. It's very helpful in all game modes if you're running an X-Men team, but it's a good thing to have in raids, because your Colossus gets below 50, your Storm, you know, whatever. So you don't really need to do the heal or the stealth first turn because nobody's hurt. I mean, I guess you could to get Dark Phoenix out fast, but you don't have to. So in the beginning nodes, I'll be charging Storm up to get close to 20, if not 20. Also, I did Storm's passive T4. It's going to give, I believe it gives extra chances or extra assist, and it gives some speed ups, I believe. I have to look at it more closely, I forget, but it's very good in X-Men comps. So in the beginning nodes, like I said, you're just going to be charging Storm, and then Minn-Erva's there to revive Colossus. Any of these three, she can't revive. She cannot revive Phoenix, so that's the only crappy part. But yeah, this team doesn't get looked at a whole lot for being a great U7 team, but like I said, I would rather spend 50 charges and one-shot the node than spend 250 charges and not one-shot the node. So this is my second U7 team, possibly my first. It just depends. on how well they actually do. So yeah, wait, let's look at Storm's passive so I can spit out some actual knowledge and not try to guess. Okay, yeah. On turn, 50% chance to apply speed up to X-Men, X-Force allies, 50% chance. So the T4 raises it from, it looks like 40 to 50%. To me, that's worth it if I'm running an all X-Men team with her, which I normally am. So I really like that T4 on her as well. So yeah, guys, I would definitely, I mean, if you haven't already, I would be putting a lot of resources into X-Men because they are great in every game mode, as you probably already know. And in my opinion, they will also be great in U7 with Minn-Erva. So those are my two Theorycrafted U7 teams. I'm sure we will find out when U7 drops just how viable this team will be, as well as the BKT team is. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Like I said, my Discord is in the description. My Twitch is in the description. Hop on, hang out with me, say what's up, request some more videos. So thank you, guys. It's Mystic Mac here, and I am out.